Hans von Spakovsky, the former emperor of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Hans, good Monday morning to you. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing just fine, thanks.
I'm glad to hear that. I was thinking about you last week because I know you've been off, and we didn't really get a chance to talk to you yet about the illegals that were registered and apparently voting at will up there in New Jersey. I suspect, looking at that there's a lot more to that story than we know. And the company that they claimed had the computer glitch said it wasn't a glitch at all. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, and in fact, that company apparently has had the contract with New Jersey, not just for a year or two, but for literally decades. They've been doing this work. And they said, it wasn't our software that did this. It was the New Jersey DMV.
What does it tell you when you look at a situation like that where, and I mean, apparently I didn't realize this, there is some sort of federal system available through which you can filter or check voter registrations. And a lot of states opt not to use it, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And New Jersey is one of those. Look, everyone should keep in mind the 6,600 aliens who were registered were people who actually honestly answered the question on the form when it asked, are you a United States citizen? They said no, and the state registered them to vote anyway. There's a federal system. It's called the SAVE database. Not to be confused with the SAVE Act that's up before Congress, okay? And look, this database has been in place for literally decades for state welfare agencies to use to check to see that somebody's really a citizen and is entitled to public assistance. And states started using it to verify citizenship for voter registration. That is, places like Alabama, Georgia, Texas, red states. New Jersey refuses to do that. So, 6,600 who answered honestly. But, Mark, what we don't know is how many aliens said, oh, yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen, and also got registered. I have no doubt that's also a large number in New Jersey.
And if they're not comparing databases, you'd have no idea, right? You wouldn't have a clue.
Right, exactly. And anybody who thinks this doesn't happen, maybe they remember the illegal alien who ended up a school superintendent in Iowa who was arrested, right, because he's in the country illegally. He was registered to vote in Maryland, where he also used to work in the schools there.
It's amazing. What you've committed your life to studying here, Hans, is the rule of law. And I did an interview. I played an interview earlier that Shannon Bream did yesterday with the leader of the Democrat Socialists of America. And among the things that she wants to do is close prisons and open the borders. She wants amnesty for everybody. Right. And she doesn't want any consequences for breaking the law, but she thinks there won't be any more law breaking once all of their socialist policies are put in place, because then everybody will be happy.
That is so ridiculous. All you got to do is look at, basically she wants to turn us into the former Soviet Union or the current communist China. I mean, that's their view on all of these issues. And it's not only silly, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, and kind of unrelated, in Illinois, you saw that Illinois judge, David Dugan, who ruled that Illinois can no longer allow undocumented immigrants to pay the in-state tuition at the public colleges.
I did see that.
And universities. Right. Unconstitutional and invalid was his ruling. How was this even occurring? They were giving, basically huge breaks for illegal immigrants to go to colleges in Illinois at taxpayer expense.
Well, yeah, but look, the story's even worse. In the 1980s, Congress amended federal immigration law that said, it's very simple. It says, if you provide in-state tuition to illegal aliens, you have to provide the same in-state tuition to all U.S. citizen students. In other words, you can't charge out-of-state tuition, like if you're in Illinois, to kids who come in from California. No administration, the Bush administration, nobody enforced that law until who? The Trump administration came in and they finally started enforcing it. The law's been on the books for more than 3 decades.
Well, I see a class action lawsuit right there. A bunch of people who've been paying out-of-state tuition saying, hey, you were giving it to illegals. We were paying out-of-state tuition costs. We want the difference paid back to us. And they would have I think they would have a strong case.
Yeah, they should. And it's another sign of how they were Illinois and other states were treating illegal alien students much better than citizen students.
Wow, well, somebody's about to start paying college tuition again for my daughter who leaves for college next week. Maybe I need to look into that just to make sure that state is not doing that.
So
yes,
you think
do.
Pritzker in Illinois will challenge that? We think they'll appeal it?
He can try, but I can guarantee you he'll lose.
Yeah. Instead, they don't mind spending our money for a frivolous defense of a bad law that they made, allowing these illegals to get this in-state tuition. Unbelievable.
That's true. Hans, great to have you on, my friend. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.